Representative Daniel Grossberg remains in office despite multiple Kentucky leaders calling on him to resign. Grossberg faces a wave of sexual harassment allegations, including an alleged attempt to pay an adult dancer for sex at a strip club he is reportedly now banned from. At least 4 women that are known in Kentucky's political arena have since identified themselves and explained in explicit detail, either through an op-ed or social media statement, uncomfortable experiences with Grossberg. Grossberg has repeatedly denied all wrongdoing. Although it's 2024 and certain attitudes have evolved, I wanted to use this morning as an opportunity to discuss how often we may see this type of behavior shown towards women in politics, either through experiences of your own or through your colleagues. So Representative Stevenson, I'll let you begin here. First, is there anything you would want to, share about your own experience, and what advice would you give to young women in politics today?
You know, I have found the people that I work with to be very respectful. I think that attitudes have changed a lot in the last probably even 10 years. We do go through training in the General Assembly. It is in statute, it is required that we do this every single year. And I personally, over the last couple of years, I've lost about 80 pounds. And as some of my male colleagues have wanted to comment on that, like they come to me and they're like, I want to tell you that you look good because you lost some weight, but is that inappropriate? And I'm like, of course, thank you so much. But it's so funny to watch them be uncomfortable and not even know how they should comment on that.
Where's the line?
And where is that line? And so, I've appreciated their hesitancy, but still, I think that that it's fine. But you see that I think men are trying to be a lot more careful, but I have experienced nothing but respectfulness. Now, I know that a few of our older legislators will still refer to some of the women there as the girls and things like that, but I come from a little bit of an older generation too, and I sometimes refer to a group of women as, hey girls, but so I think it is like, I think a lot of it is a cultural shift. I think a lot of it is generation based, and that's not excusing any of it, but I think we do see that times are evolving. But Joni Jenkins was just the first female floor leader ever in Kentucky in 2019. So there's been a lot of progress, but there's still a lot to go.
Senator Bledsoe, same question to you. I mean, what would you like to share of your own experience and advice you'd give to young women right now?
Sure. When I announced that I was leaving City Council to run for State Senate, I had a number of women who have been in Frankfort who came to me and said, you won't be respected, you won't be listened to, you won't have a seat at the table. And I was hesitant once I heard some of that. But that has not been my experience. They named me Vice Chair of Appropriations and Revenue as a freshman, which was unprecedented. And I think because they respected that I've chaired the Budget Committee for Lexington, the second biggest budget in the state for the last 4 years, I have found my Senate male colleagues for sure to be welcoming and thoughtful and certainly kind and want to be complimentary, but knowing that line I think they're very, very intentional, I think, about that. And I'm not privy to some of the relationships, as colleagues, it's one thing. Staffers and lobbyists or other visitors in the legislature, they do have different relationships. And I think one of the things that is so important is seeing more women get involved in politics. And if you look at national trends, whether it's national, state, local, women who are competent, qualified, and run for office, they win. And I think more than anything, we need to set good examples and inspire young women to say we need more women at the table in politics. And that will change, I think, the long-term culture of feeling like you're involved in public policy.
Yes, absolutely. Across the nation, we only see about a third of state legislators are women. So I'm constantly telling young women that we need them to run for office. And when I visit classrooms, I look at them and I talk to them about the number of women versus men that we have in the General Assembly. And so I'm always like, girls, I'm looking at you. You've got to grow up and get involved. And so I think that we are seeing more and more of that. But like I said earlier, we've got a long way to go.
We got just under 30 seconds left here. Before we wrap up, is there any advice you would give specifically to the young women who've came forward with allegations against Representative Grossberg?
I just applaud their courage to stand up as a young person. We're in our 40s now, and so what I'm willing to do, I'm a little stronger than I was certainly in my early 20s and even late 20s, and so I really applaud them. If you are a young woman in politics and you feel, or in any institution for that matter, and feel like you are being taken advantage of or have an authority over you that's not being respectful of your voice, your position, to speak up. Go to your HR, go to the authority in your jurisdiction and say this is not okay, and hold people account, because that really is important. And I'm really grateful of their willingness to say that they felt like that was inappropriate.
Anything you want to add?
No, same. I mean, what she said was perfect. I applaud their bravery, and we need more women to know that they're not alone, and that their voices will be heard if they speak up, and that we will believe them.
All right.